Hello, I'm Mike Russell, the owner of Prestige Helicopters, certified flight instructor in helicopters, and have owned a company for approximately 27 years. And I'm doing this video series to help pilots understand the energy in the auto rotation and to manage this in the event of a real engine failure. And the reason for this series on auto rotations is to teach pilots, instructors, the techniques in how to perform a successful auto rotation in real life. And the reason for this series is I've had pilots, instructors, commercial pilots that's had engine failures and call me and thank me for teaching them the techniques of how I showed them to do auto rotations. I just hope this video series will save a lot of lives in the helicopter industry. So there's some things that I see in the industry. It's great to keep it within the PTS standards on doing auto rotations, but what needs to really be taught while it's being performed is the instructor needs to be calling out to the student what you have, what you need to do, and why you need to do it. And as you break this down, it congels and you understand the energy management in the auto rotation far greater than the instructor explains, the instructor demonstrates, the student does, and the instructor evaluates. You've got to explain this. By explaining and coaching them through the maneuver while they're doing the maneuver, you have probably a 95% or 98% chance that nothing's going to ever be catastrophic. You're not going to damage the aircraft. You're not going to get overspeed. You're not going to stall the rotor system. You're not going to get too slow. There comes a point in time where you have to let the student do stuff. You can't talk to them. You get to a point where you've trained them. You've been their training wheels. You've coached them through it. You've talked them through it while they're doing it. And then it gets to a point to where they start doing it. They get the muscle memory to do things. It's like if you have an engine failure. Early on in my training, back in the 80s and early 90s, it was common practice to chop the throttle on the student flying along to make sure that student entered the auto rotation, or at least set the auto rotation up. It's good. But the problem is, if the student goes the wrong way, you can stall the rotor system and you've got a catastrophic accident that was pilot induced or instructor induced. So that's the reason they've been teaching roll the throttle off as you lower it or after you lower it. When you get into the turbine helicopter, you actually have to roll the throttle off first. If you lower that collective and roll it off, you'll get a massive overspeed. After owning a helicopter company for 27 years and having a flight school for 26 years, and having flight instructors work for me, is I don't like to see aircraft oversped, especially R-22, any aircraft. And that comes from not explaining it to the student and teaching them how to enter it properly, how to manage that energy. You don't want to slant. Again, you don't want to do anything abrupt. You want to do things assertively, but not abruptly. So basically, when I am teaching an auto rotation, I'm not an initial or a low-time flight instructor, a low-time pilot. I have a lot of experience doing this, over 11,000 hours of dual given to students, and over 19,000 hours of helicopter time, and especially a lot of time in the Robinson R-44, over 11,500 hours in it. But what I do when I'm teaching a student is, as they're entering the auto rotation, you're going to enter this auto rotation at the minimum of pattern airspeed, which is 60 knots, minimum pattern airspeed. Now, the auto rotation, you can enter it from any airspeed, any profile. But when you're starting out with this, you're going to be entering it from 60 to 80 knots, and especially in an R-44. I initiate the auto rotation by lowering the collective, rolling the throttle off, and applying aft cyclic, all three simultaneously, with holding the nose attitude with anti-torque. You're going to remove the left pedal, add a little bit of right pedal in there. You don't want to crank it in there. You're not going to do anything abrupt. Abrupt inputs when you're teaching auto rotation can lead to catastrophic accidents. As you're flying along, like in this little helicopter right here, we're flying along. If you're at about a 70 to 80 knot airspeed, your nose attitude is low. So as you're flying along, you enter this auto rotation. If you just lower the collective and roll the throttle off and add the right pedal, the helicopter will tuck. It will nosedive. It will start, won't nosedive real abruptly, but it will start descending. The issue with this is when you're entering this auto rotation, you must teach your students and pilots to bring the nose attitude of the helicopter up. It's basically a deceleration. Not a complete quick stop, but as you do that, the airflow is coming up through the driving region. You will not get a massive rotor decay. You will not lose valuable altitude by slamming the collective down and then bringing it back up. In a real auto rotation, if you slam that collective down and then pull it up, you're going to lose approximately 75 to 150 feet of valuable, sustainable altitude so you can choose your landing area. It's decision-making time. So if you're in an R-44 and you're flying along in your helicopter at 100 knots, you just bring the nose attitude up and ease the collective down. As long as you maintain green rotor arc, you're in a very, very safe area, and you haven't gotten slow as 60 knots, which gives you a lot of time to make a decision of where you're going to land the helicopter. Thank you for watching. I'm Mike Russell. We'll see you again in this video series, and please like and subscribe to it. And if you have any questions, put them in the comment section. I'll be more than glad to answer them.